Okay, there we go. All right, everyone. Just making sure we're live in the group right now. If you're watching the recording, please. There we go. Put my sound down. All right, ready in just a second. I just want to be able I can see your comments. Okay, here we go. Well, welcome to the Live at 5. It has been 2 weeks since I've been able to do this. The Live at 5, I jump on here every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time to teach you how to heal from MS, because you absolutely do have options. You absolutely can heal, and I'm here to show you how. This information is always going to be free, always. This is information I think should be taught in schools as we grow up, because we need to know what's going on inside of our bodies in order to heal it. This information is always free. Coaching is always available. That's not free, but I keep that cost really low because I remember when I was trying to heal, I was a single parent, 2 kids. There was very little money, so I keep the cost as low as possible. So what we're going to be learning today is how to become a superhero. Because honestly, you need to become a superhero if you're not already. And if you already are, well, then we're just going to teach you how to be even more of a badass. So if you're on here right now, if you're live, say hi. If you are watching the replay, still comments. I still get the notifications, ask questions. I could always still answer them. We're going to be talking about superheroes and how to flood your body with the superheroes, because as we heal from MS, oh, hello, Sabrina. Hello, Suzanne. Okay, so we're doing good here. I can see comments. Perfect. Okay. So as we're healing, we all know, and if you don't know, there's a workshop that I did, a 5-day workshop that takes you through the entire protocol process. That's on the Minding Your Soul YouTube channel. So right now we're going to be talking about superheroes, but the first part of the protocol is the lemon water and the celery juice. We need to starve, kill, detox, not starve ourselves. We need to starve this virus, the Epstein-Barr virus. So we have to starve the virus, right? Weaken the shit out of it so our immune system can come up, see it, kill it, and then we detox it out. We start with a detox first because we don't want to overwhelm our body as the virus starts to die, because the die-off itself, the dead corpse of the virus, is a neurotoxin, and that's what causes our brain fog. So we never want to overwhelm our body, so we start with the detox. I don't know why I didn't call it detox, starve, kill. I don't know, I just flew off the tongue, starve, kill, detox. So today we're going to be talking about the kill part. Now, before we get into that, we have to go back into like 8th grade science class and talk about molecules. So our entire body, whether we're talking about an organ or an eyeball, is made up of molecules. All these cells, all these molecules, right? Molecules all have atoms, protons, neutrons, electrons, and they all have to have a certain number of protons, electrons, and neutrons in order to be a healthy molecule, a healthy cell. Hello, everyone. Oh, Sheila, I'm glad you're on here. I just got your message as I was getting on here. After this Live at 5, I will definitely have some time to chat. Charlotte and Smitha and Denise, hello, everyone, and thanks for saying hi. It's so much nicer when I know that I'm talking to people. So, getting back to 8th grade science class and those molecules, a healthy molecule has a certain number of electrons, neutrons, and protons. And that is a healthy cell. And whether it's an eyeball, a skin, an organ cell, that's what makes our cells healthy, having those numbers, right? So now jump to today, being an adult and learning about nutrition, and we're always hearing about free radicals and how free radicals cause oxidative stress. Okay, great. We all know that's bad, but why is that bad, right? What is that actually doing to us? I don't know about you, but for me, if I know what something is doing for me, then it's easier for me to choose to put it inside my body or to choose not to put it inside my body. So what the hell is a free radical? A free radical is an electron, a missing electron. It is a molecule that's missing an electron, right? It becomes unstable. So a free radical is an unstable molecule. That unstable molecule will go around to all the other cells and molecules in your body begging for another electron, because its sole purpose in its life is to be stable. Doesn't that sound familiar? So it goes over to other cells and it's like, do you have an electron? I need an electron. I'm going crazy. I need an electron. Right? Like some of us on a Friday night with a glass of wine. Or is that just me? So the other cells in your body go, dude, relax. I got you. Take one of my electrons. Not knowing that then it itself becomes a free radical, because now it's missing a free radical. This process goes on and on throughout your body. Now, at the same time, our body is constantly duplicating, replicating cells, molecules. So it's also replicating and duplicating the free radicals, right? So the process of that free radical replication, that's what leads to the inflammation, and that's what leads to oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress, think of it as rust. It's oxidizing. Your body is literally rusting on the inside, and there's a couple reasons for that. One are the free radicals, and two is the heavy metals that are inside of our body that's lying on our myelin. We have to get rid of the heavy metals inside of our body. Now, our bodies are equipped to do that. It has a liver. It has all these other ways to get toxins out of our body, but we have to give it the help because our food is so deficient these days in nutrients, right? And there's such an onslaught of chemicals coming our way that the two right here are causing our livers to get backed up, overloaded, and that's why we have to give it the help. So 100 years ago, we really didn't have to do too much but eat a healthy diet because our food had so many more nutrients than it does today. A study done in 1956, UCLA did this study. In 1956, they took spinach from a certain plot of land and they tested it. And then in 1996, they tested that same plot of land, the spinach that was still grown on that plot of land, they tested that. So 1956 to 1996, it took 30-something, I can't remember exactly, but 30-something bowls of spinach to equal the amount of nutrients in one bowl of spinach in 1956. That's how deficient our food is. That's why we have to eat more of it. So let's go back to those free radicals. Those free radicals are inside of your body going, I need a molecule, I need an electron, I need an electron. And your body's giving away electrons, and then it's becoming unstable. Well, guess what? There are these superheroes that you can put inside of your body that fly into your body with their capes on. And different superheroes have different colored capes, right? Inside of their capes, they're all lined with pockets. And inside of those pockets are extra electrons, just loaded with hundreds and thousands of electrons. These superheroes come inside of your body and go, whoa, free radicals, slow your roll. Here's an electron for you, and here's an electron for you, and it's just throwing electrons left and right, not becoming unstable itself because it is a superhero. So it is able to throw electrons everywhere, calm all the free radicals, turn them into healthy cells, and then those healthy cells are able to reduce the inflammation in your body and start cleaning things up. And that's when we start feeling better. Now, the superhero's job is not done once all of his pockets are emptied. So here he goes, flying around your body, looking at all of these cells, all these unhealthy free radical cells that need electrons. He's throwing them left and right like Oprah on Christmas. You get an electron and you get an electron. How many times you guys heard me say that? It never gets old. For me, it never gets old. When the superhero's pockets are done, empty, he's given away all of his electrons. He goes, all right, let me exit this party. My work here is done. But on his way out, he goes, oh, hold on a second. I have all these empty pockets. All this shit's lying around here. Well, you don't need that in your body. Puts it in the pocket. You don't need that. Oh, that's a precancerous cell. Let me collect all of those, stick it in that pocket. And on his way out, he is collecting all of this crap that you don't need inside your body that's going to later make you sick, sticks it in his empty pockets, and then just rides out the tube out into the toilet. And the superhero's job is done. Now, there's all different kinds of superheroes, all different colors. There's red, there's yellow, there's green, and all of them do a fantastic job, and they do a little something different. The electrons they still throw out, but they're able, based on the color of their cape, to grab certain toxins out of your body. One is for precancerous cells, and one is for heavy metals, and one is for the other crap that you came in contact with out in the world, right? They all have different jobs. Now, if you spend a little bit of time every day putting these superheroes inside of your body, you know what eventually happens? You eventually become a superhero. You're free of viruses. Excuse me, I'm trying to drink my coffee here. A little late on coffee time. It's 5 o'clock. I usually have it at 3. You are free of viruses, you are free of precancerous cells, and your body is healthy, and it's able to handle anything that comes its way. Now, how do you flood your body with superheroes? What are the superheroes? Let me see it in the comments if anybody knows what the superheroes are, because if you do, that means you've seen my workshops, you've seen me talk about this a couple times. But there are some people in the group who have just come in. We've got an influx of new people in the group this week and last week, which is why I was so crazy to not be able to do the live at 5s. But let me hear from you and see if you know what those free radical, what those superheroes are. I used to tell this story to my kids in order to get them to do what I wanted them to do. And it was very interesting. Once they had that visual, once they had that story, they're so much more excited to go to the store and get those superheroes. So I think I'm on a delay here. So I want to see if the answers. Oh, I had to scroll down. Okay, so yes, some of you are absolutely correct. So how do you flood your body with superheroes? What are these different colored superheroes and how do you get them? Well, go over to the grocery store and look around the produce section. All of those different colors. Very nice, Erica, very nice. Fruits and veggies. All around the produce section, all these different superheroes are all over the place. They are your fruits and your vegetables. That is what is going to not only build up the immune system, but it's all, Amy, very nice. Veggies. It is going to build up your immune system, bring down that inflammation, and take all the shit, the literal and figurative shit, out of your body on its way out. That's why it is so important that we eat fruits and vegetables every single day. Because let's go over, hey Keisha, let's go over the process. When we're killing the Epstein-Barr virus, that virus is so smart. It has been able to evade blood tests and doctors for decades. We don't even know how long. The medical medium says over 100 years. Who knows, right? So this is a very smart virus. It knows how to leave your bloodstream, evade the blood test, and hide inside of your body. And depending on where it hides inside your body, that's what's going to give you your collection of symptoms, and that is what's going to send you to the doctor and give you a diagnosis. So stage 2, the virus leaves your bloodstream and it goes into an organ. People who have MS, the organ that the virus has chosen is the spleen and the liver. For other people, or maybe it's you yourself, because a lot of times there's a couple of different autoimmune diseases that you're diagnosed with. If the virus goes into the thyroid, then you have thyroidism. If it's your intestines, depending on the severity of the strain, because there's 65, 67 different strains of the Epstein-Barr virus. Depending on the strain, whether it's mild or aggressive, that's either going to give you IBS or Crohn's disease. Are you seeing, like, no matter where the virus travels to inside of your body, it's going to cause a set of symptoms. That's what's going to take you to the doctor, and that's what the doctor is going to describe as an autoimmune disease, because it appears as if your body is attacking itself, when really it's attacking a virus that the medical industry just doesn't know about yet. They're catching on, though. If you notice, about 8 months ago, 9 months ago, I think I was still pregnant, so maybe 10, 11 months ago, they started releasing in the news that the Epstein-Barr virus has been linked to multiple sclerosis and other autoimmune diseases. This is how you kill it. You starve it, you kill it, you detox it out. You flood your body with those fruits and vegetables, those superheroes. And once you know what those superheroes are doing inside your body, it becomes a lot easier to reach for things that you know are going to kill the virus. Smitha, does a new stage mean the previous stage is over? I mean, if it's in an organ, it's no longer in the bloodstream. Yes, that's a great question. That's why when people say, oh, I had Epstein-Barr, I don't have it anymore. When you go to the doctor and they test your blood, they will see antibodies. There's a certain antibody that your body produces to attack the Epstein-Barr virus. The doctors are well aware of this. So what they see is, sorry, my daughter's school is calling. It's probably about testing tomorrow. Sorry, I didn't silence my phone. So what they see is the antibody, and the doctors will say, oh, you've had a previous infection with the Epstein-Barr virus or mononucleosis, but that's not your problem today. You only have the antibodies. What they're going to soon realize is that Once the virus leaves your bloodstream, then it enters into its stage 3 of its lifespan, and it goes into an organ. So yes, once it's in an organ, it's very rarely in the bloodstream still, because when it's in the bloodstream, your immune system can see it. Your immune system can attack it, and that's what gives you the symptoms of mononucleosis. Now, remember I said there's 65 different strains of the virus. Not everyone who gets mono is going to be going to the doctor and saying, I have these horrible symptoms. What do I have? Oh, you have mono. No, if you have a very mild strain of the virus, you're not going to get diagnosed with mono. You're going to think you have a sore throat. You're going to think you have a sinus infection, and you're going to heal from it, and you're going to go on with your life. And what I'm noticing is I'm finally seeing a pattern after all of these years. The people who later find out that they have an antibody, right, in their blood, that they can see that they once had Epstein-Barr, they go, I've never had mono, though. No, you were never diagnosed with it. But what I'm noticing it, those are the older people. Those are the ones who don't start experiencing MS symptoms until later in life, 30s, 40s, and they're like, I don't understand the correlation. Those mild strains of the Epstein-Barr virus, they will go inside your organs, and they won't cause a lot of trouble until later on in life when your tolerance goes down. And what I mean by tolerance is, remember when I said your liver is getting overloaded because we have less nutrients in our food and more chemicals in the world? Our livers aren't able to keep up as well. And we all don't eat a perfect diet. Those are the people that I find don't get diagnosed until later on in life, 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s sometimes. So when the virus leaves, when the virus goes from stage 1 to stage 2 to stage 3, it's different for everybody. It's different in terms of it could be a few years, it could be decades before you see any symptoms. That's why it's so different. Another reason why this diagnosis is the diagnosis, I hate to say your MS, why MS is so different among people is because when the Epstein-Barr virus feeds on a certain concoction of heavy metals, it's going to produce, I should have really silenced my phone because my mother just texted me about my birthday. Okay, sorry, that's sidetracked. Shiny thing. When the Epstein-Barr virus feeds on the heavy metals, whatever concoction of heavy metals you have inside of your body, it's going to produce a different symptom. So if your Epstein-Barr virus is feeding on mercury and lead inside of your brain, it's going to give you a different symptom than if your brain was feeding on the aluminum and the cadmium that's inside your body. It's going to give you a different symptom. That's why the list of symptoms for MS is so friggin' long, and it's different from person to person. I used to joke around and say, I could go to the doctor and say, my eyes are bleeding. And he'd go, well, you have MS, so, it's probably because of that. They blame everything on MS. Now, we have been told that we can't heal from MS. We have been told that there's no cure. We now know that there is a cure. I was once paralyzed and laying in bed and told there's nothing I can do for you. I'm sorry, Janine. You're just going to have to accept the wheelchair. And you're just, going to have to be happy that no one dies from MS. Meanwhile, I can't fucking walk. I can't use my arms. And he's telling me that I should be happy that I just have MS. I have 2 small kids that I can't raise. Everybody, Suzanne just said 53 for me, right? Lesser of an aggressive strain, doesn't hit until later in life. Now, no matter when it hits, you can heal from it. Why? Because it's just a virus. They're going to know this. They're already coming out with some news articles about it. It's just a freaking virus, but it's a very smart virus, which is why I have read all of the medical medium books over and over again. And I have come up with something that is very simple to do, because we all have lives, we all have responsibilities, and I feel like if I could do it, anybody can do it. And I was not about to live a deprived life for the rest of my life. I was going to find a way to heal the virus where I could still live a very happy, satisfied life, where sometimes I need to say, fuck it, sit on the couch and eat a gallon of ice cream. Okay, it was a pint, but it was still a lot of ice cream. We need to do that. So dairy-free, egg-free, gluten-free, absolutely important, because you want to starve that virus to weaken it, because once that virus is weakened, it can no longer put out that smoke screen. The virus is very smart. Think of an octopus, also very smart. It inks to get away from its predators, right? It inks so that the predators can't see it in the water and the octopus can get away from it, go in the opposite direction. Hold on. So, the Epstein-Barr virus, being as smart as it is, does the exact same thing. It puts out this smoke screen that confuses the shit out of your immune system. Your immune system knows that the virus is there, but it can't see it. So it's constantly looking, it's constantly on the attack. Now, we know from when we've had the flu in the past how exhausted we are. You're exhausted now because your body is constantly fighting a virus. Chronic fatigue syndrome isn't a thing. It's your immune system fighting a virus that the medical industry can't see. That's why you're tired all the time. There is no such thing as, oh, you have a syndrome that makes you tired all the time. No, you have a virus that your body is protecting you from and fighting for you. And that's why you're tired. So, all of this can be healed. Every single last symptom. My pinky toe on my right foot has full feeling. And I say that because I thought when I was able to walk again, I'm like, all right, so I can't feel my feet. I don't freaking care. I can walk. And then as I got better, I'm like, I don't care if I can't feel my toes on my right foot. I can walk. I have energy. And now today, even my pinky toe on my right foot, it's completely back. It's just a virus, and we absolutely can heal from it. So, Smitha, I hope I answered that. I think I answered that question. I'm probably in too much detail. Erica asked, can I test for heavy metals with my bioscan? Oh my God, Erica, you have to tell everybody about that bioscan, because I swear to God, if this little boy doesn't allow me some time soon, I want to get going on that. I want to learn more about it. So, Erica, please post in the group. She is a scan coach, and it's something where you can scan the entire body and see what the hell is going on inside the body, what's actually in there. So, Erica, if you wouldn't mind, post that in Minding Your Soul so that everyone has access to it and they can learn about it for themselves. You can teach them about it because it sounds like a wonderful thing. And one of these days, I'm going to get on that call and learn about it myself. So, that is your free training. Oh, Smith has said, yeah, thanks. You're very welcome. All right, good. Any other questions, let me know. Put them in there. I want to start trying to keep these trainings a little bit shorter than an hour, because I was thinking about something as I was watching TikTok and I'm scrolling through. I noticed that the people who talk very slow and take a really long time to get to the information, Erica certainly will, thank you. They take a really long time to get to the information. Like, I scroll right past that shit. And I don't ever want to be like, oh, here goes Janine again, another hour-long talk. I want to keep them very concise and very focused. So it's not going to be an hour anymore. But I think what I'm going to do, and I know I keep saying this, it's just an idea that I have that I'm trying to get the time to figure it out on the computer. But I'll keep the Live at Fives short and sweet, give you the information that you need to heal. And then I will open up like an after party where we can go into a Zoom or a Facebook room and give you the opportunity to be like, all right, here's my situation. What do you think I should do in my situation? So this way it's a little bit more personalized for everybody. And then we can start moving the needle. And that will be super cheap. I'm thinking about taking that to like maybe $10. So for anyone who can't afford the coaching, but just need some questions answered every now and then, you'll have the Live at 5 after parties. And I don't know if I'm going to do that on Wednesday. I feel like that's a big time commitment for me and for you. So I was thinking maybe on Thursdays at 5 o'clock. I don't know. I'm playing with the time. I'll probably ask a couple people what they think a good time for them would be for us to get on Zoom or a Facebook room and just have a nice coaching session. Because, like I said, I figured this all out on my own by reading the Medical Medium books and every other book that I can get my hands on. You can do this by yourself. So if you don't have the money for coaching, I get it. Here's all the information. You can absolutely do it. But I still want to give you access to me to say, hey, what about this? I just need a couple questions answered. That's more than just in the group. So I'm trying to offer something for everybody, right? Because I know that $1,500 coaching program, it's a big commitment. It's a big chunk. And we have a really nice group of people in there. And I think we can create another really nice group for the people who just need maybe a once a month check-in. So, okay, I think that's everything. All right, guys, thank you for joining me here today. Sorry about the last 2 weeks. That's all the information, so if you need to jump off, please jump off. I'm just going to be talking now personally about my personal stuff. So my father had a stroke 2 weeks ago, and I have not seen this man in 14 years. And before that, I hadn't seen him for 10 years. So we're not close. There's no anger. He just was never a part of my life. He left when I was 2. I have almost no memories of him. But he didn't have anyone to take care of him. Like, literally, he had no one to take care of him. And it was the day after his stroke. And there I was, feeding this man. He couldn't feed himself. And I was there, his daughter, that's my father, and I'm feeding him and taking care of him. And it was an emotional shitstorm is what it was, an absolute emotional shitstorm. And I couldn't do the Live at 5. One, because I was in the hospital the one day that I thought, oh, I'll just go to the hospital, visit him, and then, I'll do the Live at 5 from there. No, because I had no idea how much help he needed. And then the following Wednesday, I think I was just an emotional wreck. It took me a little time to recover from that because I was not prepared for the feelings that came up in the last 2 weeks. You think something doesn't bother you, and you think, okay, so I don't have a father. I never had a father, so I don't experience a void. There's no feelings of, oh, I wish I had. I don't even know what a father, could have done for me. That's where I was coming from. And this event brought up all of these emotions that, yeah, I really did miss having a father. I did. And I do want a relationship with him. So, I don't know. He's just getting out of the rehab center this week. So, I've seen him twice so far. And I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know I'm on here every Wednesday, but I couldn't do the last 2 weeks. It was a shitstorm of emotions. I'll leave it at that. Wait, we have more questions. Smitha, I started the protocol in July this year. I have been very disciplined, but I am not noticing any benefit. Oh, I'm so glad you're putting this out there. Are there stages to healing to look forward to? I need something for hope. Disclaimer, I might be too far gone. Oh, diagnosed in 2009. Okay, first of all, you're never too far gone. I did a video a couple weeks ago. Go on YouTube. I titled it, Am I Too Old to Heal? No, you're never too old to heal. I'll just tell you the answer. No, you're never too old to heal. But in the video, I go into detail as to why you're never too old to heal and how the body will take detours. I have spoken to a lot of people who come to me. They schedule the free consultation and they go, Janine, I'm doing all the things and I'm not seeing any healing. And after digging down deep into all the things that they're doing, I always find something. I'm like, there it is. There it is. That's what you need to be doing. So there's the protocol, right? That's the physical level. Then there's the body. So that's the physical, the body, the mind, and the soul. Honestly, I talked to this one woman about a year ago, and she's like, Janine, I'm doing all the things. And she was doing all the things. Like, she was doing everything. And so I said, well, what about, some of the things in your life? What's going on? And the conversation that we had about the shit that was going on in her life, it was unbelievable. I sent her over to Catherine, and they started working together. And oh my goodness, the progress that this woman has made. Now, I'm not saying, oh, go to Catherine, she'll fix everything. But what I'm saying is there's always something. There's always something that I can go, oh, that's it. Go look into that, or go do this, or there's always something that we can tweak. So Smitha, I hope I'm saying your name right. Schedule a free consultation. I always have them Mondays, Tuesdays, and I think I took off Fridays, but I think they're back on there now. I don't know, but go on mindingyoursoul.com, schedule a free consultation, and let's go through your entire diet and your process and what you're actually doing so that I can see if I can offer any help. I'm glad you posted that. But in the meantime, go watch that video. Am I too old to heal? Understanding how the body heals. That's what I titled it. And you will be amazed at how the body is always healing. Smitha, if I asked you right now if you got a paper cut, would you heal from it? You'd say yes, right? Of course you would. Why? I thought, you're too far gone. Do you see what I mean? The body is always healing. Always healing. To you, a paper cut is no big deal. To you, healing a virus is a much bigger deal. To the body, healing is healing. It's just shit that it has to do, right? So it just does it. Yes, it prioritizes, right? But it always gets its shit done. Now, if it has the resources, it will finish its list. If it doesn't have the resources, it won't be able to finish that list. That's why it puts its list in a priority list, and it works from the top down. So if you're experiencing a lack of what you think is healing, your body doesn't have the resources to finish its list. How do you give your body the resources? Well, first you flood your body with superheroes. Absolutely, flood your body with superheroes. But you have to know what the root cause is. You always have to know what the root cause is. So is it the virus? Great, let's kill the virus. So Smitha, you are never too far gone. Aw, you were a good daughter. Smitha, thank you for that. Oh, see, that hit me in the heart. See, it's still very raw for me. Thank you very much. She just wrote, you were a good daughter. I was a good daughter, and I felt like a good daughter. I cannot believe I'm crying right now. It's very raw for me, and I did not think I had any of these feelings in there. Oh, Sabrina, I think you asked that before. How's your father doing? He's much better. He made a miraculous recovery. They thought he had 10 hours to live when they called me 2 Sundays ago, and they said he's got about 10 hours to live. He just had one of the worst strokes that people have. And then he went from that to me being there the next day feeding him, and now he's being released from the physical therapy Kessler, the long-term care. So Keisha, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, there's a lot more comments in here that I didn't get to. I'm so sorry. Oh, I was not prepared for that. See, do you see how raw that is? I still have a lot more to deal with. Yeah, I've been calling Catherine a lot. Don't worry. And my therapist. Stephanie, it's never too late with your dad. You know, can I tell you a funny story if you guys are interested? I mean, jump off here. There's not going to be any more healing information, so jump off if you don't want to hear this. But Stephanie, you say it's never too late with your dad, right? The last time I saw him, and I think this is the reason why I haven't been back yet, is because I was like, oh, Dad, you know, I'll come see you in a couple days. And he goes, oh, I'll probably be home by then. And he didn't follow up with, but you can come see me at home. So I kind of felt like, you know, the girl sitting there on a date with the hot guy, you know, the guy who's like way out of your league, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to do this again sometime. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm good. That's how I felt. So I'm kind of working through those feelings, processing them, and then hopefully I will see him again, and we will have a relationship because I would like him to meet my kids. The last time he saw my kids, they were 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and he's never met Jackson. So yeah, oh God, so much. Smitha, yes, you're right. I will set up a consultation. Yeah, definitely, Smitha. I would love to talk to you and go over some stuff. Suzanne, family makes a difference in healing. Yeah. Oh God. Family makes a huge difference in healing. I did a video that I didn't put on YouTube. So if you want to see it, you got to scroll through the group because I was afraid my family was going to see it. They're not in this group. And I titled it, Dumb Shit Your Family Says at the Holidays. Because, man, they can take you down with that, you know, oh, you're doing the gluten-free fad. Oh, you're doing this again. Oh, you're trying to heal. Bless your heart. All that stupid shit. And it took me a while to find my voice and to find my power and to speak up for myself and to stand up for myself and then to honestly not fucking care what they said because shit was working and I was healing. But it took a long time. It took years before I was able to really stand up to them. So I figured I would do a video to let you know all the stupid things that they said and all the things that I have learned to say back to them to keep my power. You know, you could say it respectfully, absolutely, or you could say it, you know, however you want. But standing up for yourself, that's what's going to get you healed. Do you see what I mean? It's like, it's all of these things. It's not just the protocol. It's all of these things. That's why the group is called Minding Your Soul. You have to mind the matters of your soul in order to heal your body. The physical part is just one part. It's just one piece of the puzzle. So, oh, okay, great. I had, a mild stroke. Wait, okay, great. I had a mild stroke. Doing well. Sabrina, you had a stroke? A mild stroke? Jesus, Lord, well, I'm glad you are doing well. Oh, my God, yeah, I've been doing a lot of reading about strokes, and I had no idea how common they were. So, a good segue, right back to the superheroes, right? Flood your body with those superheroes, because it also, remember I talked about when the superheroes are leaving your body, and they're grabbing all the shit that doesn't belong there? Well, a stroke is that a blockage, a little piece of crap, plaque they call it, that gets in your bloodstream and travels up and cuts off the blood supply, could cut off the blood supply to your brain or to wherever. And the the superheroes picking up all the crap, they're picking up all those loose pieces of plaque and bringing them down the chute and out of your body. So these superheroes, I know I kind of just like made a childish story of it, but they are so important to keeping us alive. They're so important to keeping us healthy, to helping our bodies fight viruses. So do some reading on free radicals. Do some reading on fiber. That's the fiber, by the way, of the vegetables. That's the one that grabs all the crap on your way out. The more fiber in your body, we've become so desensitized to the word fiber. Oh, get enough fiber in. And we've become desensitized because they don't really teach us. They just say fiber is good, right? Fiber is good. Inflammation is bad. Okay, great. We're hearing good and bad stuff all the time, but why? What is it doing? What can I do? What are the action steps that I can take? So that's what I try to put here. Suzanne says, oh my goodness, I had a mild stroke. My husband had a bad stroke. We both have recovered. Oh, Suzanne, goddamn, talk about a shitstorm. Talk about an emotional shitstorm. All right, I'm glad. Awesome. I'm glad you're doing well, and thank you for that. Yeah, it's, Could you imagine a stroke bringing me and my father back together after all of these years? I'll keep you guys posted. Natalie says, I'm doing well with the protocol. Lemon water and celery juice. When to start heavy metal detox smoothie? Awesome question. My group is actually just starting the heavy metal detox smoothie, because the first month we do the lemon water and the celery juice and watch how our body responds. As soon as you're good and you know how you're responding to the lemon water and the celery juice specifically, because that's what makes you shit your brains out. The celery juice is what actually gives you the most movement in the bowels, right? Because if it sees if it comes in contact with the virus in your gut lining, it kills it on contact. And when it kills it on contact, your body has a light at the end of the tunnel to get it out immediately. And that's what the diarrhea is. It's the evacuation of the dead virus. Now, I'm going to answer your question in just a second, Natalie. I just want people to know that if you're not evacuating, if you're not getting that diarrhea, that does not mean that you don't have the virus inside your body. It just means that the virus isn't in the gut lining. The tube that starts here goes all the way down and comes out into the toilet. If the virus is in that tube, the celery juice is going to use the nearest exit to get the dead virus out. A lot of times it's not in that tube, it's in the organs, or it's in both. So don't worry, if you don't have the diarrhea, it doesn't mean that the celery juice isn't finding the virus. The celery juice is going in through that tube, going into the organs, and once it finds it in the organs, it kills it, but it has to use a different exit because there's no light at the end of the tunnel for your organs. Your organs have to use your excretory system. It has to use your lymphatic system, all of these other different exits to get it out of your body. So back to your question, Natalie, when to start it? As soon as you know how the celery juice is affecting you and how you feel, and you've gotten it to a point where you're taking it and you have good energy. When your energy level is good, like if you drink 16 ounces, maybe you're tired, right? So you went down to 8 ounces and you're building your way up to 16 ounces. When you're at the 16 ounces and your energy level is good and you know how it affects you, then take the heavy metal detox smoothie and incorporate that into your day. And the reason why you do that is because remember the peaks and valleys. I'm going to go on an hour anyway. Remember the peaks and valleys. You have to know when to stop and when to continue. So let's say you started the lemon water, celery juice, and the heavy metal detox smoothie all at once. When you get overwhelmed, when your body is exhausted, or when you're shitting your brains out, you're not going to know what to stop. You're not going to know, am I exhausted from the heavy metal detox smoothie? Or am I exhausted from the celery juice? Should I bring down the celery juice? You want to know exactly how you're handling the celery juice before you start anything new, so that when it comes time to take a break, you know what to take a break from. You have to know what's affecting your body and in what way, so that you know what to take a break from. Because I have to tell you, I have seen it year after year, client after client. The ones who go too fast, they're the ones that don't heal. They're the ones who give up. They lose their motivation because it's too hard. You cannot live miserable for any length of time. Maybe for a small length of time, but then you're going to give up. You're going to hit a wall and you're going to say, that's it, I'm fucking done. This isn't working. You have to go through this slowly. And I know, because you guys are just like me. You're like, balls to the wall. I'm going to get this done. And that's awesome. But getting it done means doing it in a very slow way, in a very balanced way. Smitha, I just got the notification that you scheduled the consultation. Awesome. I'm glad I didn't silence my phone. I can't wait to talk to you. So before you incorporate anything new into your daily routine, you want to know exactly how it's affecting you first. And how do you know when to take breaks? By your energy level. Your energy level is telling you how hard your immune system is working. If your energy level is low, your immune system is working really fucking hard and needs a goddamn break, right? So you need to rest so that it has less to do, so that it can continue the fight. Because it's always going to fight. When the virus is in your body, it's always going to fight. But you need to give your body a break. So you need to know what to take a break from. And you also need to listen to your body and not overdo it. I know that's really hard to do because we're all badasses in this group and we all want to get all of our shit done. And I loved what Amy, if you're still on here, I loved what she did yesterday. Unfortunately, she hit her head, or a tree branch hit her head, and she got a big knot on it. And she said, you know what, in the past, I would have just kept on going. I would have taken the Tylenol and kept on going, but I'm learning how to listen to my body. I was tired. I needed to be done. Tomorrow's another day. And that is progress right there. For me, it was the hardest thing to learn, the balance. I still struggle with it. Maybe I have it, most of the time I have it in what I eat. that brings me to another topic that I wanted to put out there. You're going to get to the point where you're like, I'm so fucking done. I don't have it in me today. I can't do this shit. That's fine. Don't think that that's not normal. That's completely normal. And when that shit happens, you do the bare minimum. You make sure you don't gluttenize yourself. You do the bare minimum. Maybe you wake up and you have a cup of coffee. That's fine. Lemon water, celery juice. Not today. Not today, Satan. Right? And then you go on and you have ice cream for breakfast. Yeah, that was a couple weeks ago. That was me. Ice cream for breakfast. I fucking needed it. But it was so delicious. The brand, it was so delicious, but the brand was so delicious, it was dairy free. And so you do the bare minimum. If you have to sit on the couch and eat ice cream for breakfast because that's what your emotions are dictating, then do it. Just make sure it's dairy free. You do the bare minimum until you give your body enough of a rest where you're like, all right, I'm ready to go again. If you don't give your body a rest, you will crash. You will crash and you will burn. And you don't want to do that. Just like if you're going to the gym and you're starting any gym routine, whether you're starting the routine or it's, what you do, you always have rest days because that's when you rebuild the muscle. That's when you repair. On your rest days, that's when you're repairing your spirit, your soul. At least that's what I think. That's what works for me. And that, so far, that's what I've seen works for clients. So, all right, let me see if I got everybody. Sabrina, yes, and I came down with MS right after. Oh, right after the stroke. Right. Because the Epstein-Barr virus will take every advantage. It will take every opportunity and will wait until you are in a state of stress and then it will attack. If you talk to the people in this group or anybody with MS, when they got diagnosed, it was right around a trauma that was going on. Because I'll do another video on the 4 stages of the Epstein-Barr virus and how fucked up this virus is. And that's so smart. It detects that stress hormone in your body and it goes, ooh, she's vulnerable, and it goes on the attack. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Natalie says, yep, shit guts out. Exactly. Nearly 3 months. Energy improving. You're doing it 5 times a week. Crave celery juice. Natalie, you're so freaking awesome. You do. You shit your guts out. And then I think I did it for nearly 3 months as well. And that's why I say you got to take breaks. There's not enough gold bond in the world to handle that kind of irritation. So yeah, you're a trooper and that's awesome. You stick with it. You take breaks and the energy comes back and you start to heal. Natalie, nice job. Amy, it's a daily struggle. Yeah, it really is. You would think that, balancing our lives would get easier, but I don't find that it does. And I think the kind of personalities that we have, we're always taking on more. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. And that's fine. But you have to learn the balance and learn when to take breaks and learn how to listen to your body. If you're going to continue to take more on, like we love to do, you just got to listen to your body and make sure you take those breaks. Suzanne says, hit my head on the car door 8 days ago, dealing with a concussion, bad headaches, facial pain, neck, back pain. Can't believe it. Suzanne, I'm so sorry. On the car door. I feel like I just heard of somebody saying that. Did I hear it in the group? Suzanne, I'm so sorry. 8 days ago, concussion. Jesus Christ. Well, I wish you a speedy recovery, and I hope those headaches go away, because you know what? That's the last fucking thing that we need, right? Is it like more pain, more shit to deal with? I'm so sorry. All right, I wish you very quick recovery. All right, everybody. I know I said I was going to keep these quick. You know what I should do is just commit to keeping the important information in the beginning of the video. So this way, if you do have the time and you want to stay on, then I could talk about, personal shit and answering questions later in the group. That might work better. See, it's always evolving. I'm always trying to do something, just to make this a little bit more, to make it easier for you guys, because I know it's just a lot. There's a lot of information. Suzanne, you're very welcome. Quinn, I take breaks because I'm broke. Life, bills, cubs. I love that you call them cubs. Cub appeasing. I love that. You have to take breaks. You do the bare minimum. You don't gluttenize yourself, and you do the bare minimum, and you do the lemon water and the celery juice when you can. This is an evolution. Some people it takes years to evolve into this. Some people it does take 6 months at least to evolve into this. And then once you've got it down, then it's about keeping it going. So it's an evolution. You fit the protocol into your life. You don't fit your life into the protocol. Okay, remember that. There's always a way to get shit done, and we just have to take care of ourselves first and then take care of everything else. All right, this was wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I really do. I really feel like I look forward to this. So I get so nervous right before because I'm like, oh, what if I forget everything I want to say? But then I don't, and I love talking to you guys. So thank you for being such an awesome part of this group. I find it's so heartwarming when I see when somebody posts a question about, hey, you know, I need some help, this isn't working for me, or I feel this way. Everybody comes, like the village just circles around and goes, you got this, don't worry about it, have you tried this, what about, everyone is so supportive in this group, and I absolutely love reading that when I scroll through. So I just wanted to say you guys are awesome, and thank you for being here, and thank you for helping people, because I know it's you guys that are talking to other people in groups, and they're coming in. I hear it on the consultations. They're like, oh, so-and-so invited me. This group is great. So thank you, because we have to get this information out. We have to be the people that get this information out, because the doctors aren't doing it, not yet anyway. So we have to be the ones to heal ourselves and get the information out that it is possible. And I think I want to start and end every video with, you do have options, you can heal, and I will show you how. We will all show you how, because we're all doing it together. All right, guys, you have a great night, and if I don't see you before, I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.